After 12 years, the UFC will be returning to Seattle, Washington for a fight night card on February 22nd at the Climate Pledge Arena. The main event is going to be Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. That's number 7 and 8 in the bantamweight division. Song Yadong is coming off a loss to Piotr Yan via decision. He wanted to fight January 18th against Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar said he was injured, but then he was fine, and then he got a title shot, so it didn't happen. So now he's taking on Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo is coming off a loss to Merab Dvalishvili via decision. In the co-main event, Dominic Cruz is back. He's going to be taking on Rob Font. Cruz is currently unranked. Rob Font is ranked number 9. Cruz's last fight was when he fought Marlon Chito Vera and got knocked out. Rob Font is coming off a victory over Kyler Phillips. He was the underdog in that fight, but he pulled it off via decision. A lot of people wanted to see Dominic Cruz take on Jose Aldo, a couple former champs going at it. A lot of people wanted to see that fight, but it didn't happen. There's a chance that this could be Dominic Cruz's final fight. The rest of the main card has some good fights on it, like Edson Barboza, number 15, taking on Steve Garcia, who's unranked, but is on a 5-fight KO streak. That's going to be a fun fight, as is Jean Silva versus Melsik Bagdasarian. Jean Silva had a crazy year in 2024. And number 9 ranked Brendan Allen versus number 13 ranked Anthony Hernandez. Hernandez has been on a tear, so that's going to be a fun fight as well. Michael Chiesa will be on the card. He's a Washington native. To be determined is his opponent. Adam Fugit will be on the prelims, taking on Islam Dulatov, coming off the Contender Series. He has a pretty big fan base in Germany. Curtis Blades will be taking on Rizwan Kuniev. Kuniev making his UFC debut in the heavyweight division, already getting a top 5 opponent, so big chance for him to break into the top 5 in his UFC debut. Very rare feat. Kutalaba versus Aslan's also on the card. Ketlin Vieira versus Macy Chiasson, number 3 and 4 in the bantamweight division, so some big implications at the top of that division. Chidi Njokwani versus TBD. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricoli, and Modestas Bakauskis versus Rafael Cerqueira. So yeah, that's basically it. Decent card. These fight night cards are improving a little bit as they're traveling to different cities. They're saving the worst cards for the Apex, dumbing it down a little for that, but when they're selling tickets, they add a little bit more firepower to their cards. That's why you see 9 ranked fighters on the card, and maybe one more to take on Chiesa. The card the week before on February 15th will be at the UFC Apex. That card just added Ketlin Souza versus Angela Hill. Angela Hill's coming off a loss to Tabitha Ricci. Ketlin Souza's coming off a win over Yasmin Yaregi. Angela's been at it for a while, and it shows because she has a ton of records in the strawweight division. Most women's strawweight fights, 25, so this will be her 26. Most wins in UFC women's strawweight history, 11. Longest total fight time in UFC women's history in general. UFC women's history, most significant strikes landed in UFC strawweight division, 1,951, and across the board for women's, most significant strikes landed in UFC women's history, 2,036. It's looking more like Jack Della Maddalena will fight Leon Edwards in the main event of UFC London on March 22nd. That's a good fight, interesting fight, fun stand-up fight, should be good. If that happens, maybe Sean Brady takes on Carlos Prates, maybe Joaquin Buckley takes on Kamaru Usman. How do you see the welterweight picture developing if this is the fight that's next, March 22nd? Let me know in the comments. Besides looking cool, many assume Mark Zuckerberg added Dana White to his board of directors to offer Meta a layer of protection against antitrust scrutiny by aligning with one of the members of Trump's inner circle. A U.S. federal court has scheduled an antitrust trial against Meta for April 14th, and this trial stems from a lawsuit brought by the FTC, accusing Meta of monopolizing the personal social networking market through his acquisitions of Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2014. Colby Covington recently talked about moving up to the middleweight division, taking on a guy like Sean Strickland. He describes Strickland as a cardio kickboxer. Him moving up to middleweight intrigues Bo Nickal. Maybe Bo Nickal would like to fight Colby Covington if he moves up. Lately, Colby has struggled at welterweight, so I don't know, facing bigger guys may not be the best option, but maybe he sees something different in the middleweight division that he can exploit. Israel Adesanya training with Dan Hooker ahead of his fight with Nasruddin Imavov February 1st.
Can't help myself. Some of my best thoughts are done here. Real shit from the shitter. Kevin Holland's got the right idea. I try to stay away from the poop jokes, but you know what, man? This ain't a joke. It's just real shit. A lot of people, I don't know if you guys comment seriously or if it's all a troll. Internet is just a troll in its own, undefeated troll. But there's ideas, there's plans being put together, information, my own fight league, tequila, podcasts, all these things have to come together. Also bare knuckle, a lot of opportunities for me, not for you.
Ariel Helwani's talking to Cain Velasquez on Tuesday. He has a sentencing hearing on the 24th of this month. Although there is a scheduled hearing, the actual sentencing could take place at a later date. Velasquez faces a range of possible punishment from probation to prison time. The judge having discretion over the final outcome. Santa Clara County Probation Department will likely produce a sentencing recommendation considering the severity of the crime, Velasquez's lack of criminal history, and the context of his actions, including the abuse allegations against Goulart. I ask you guys, will Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall? 55% of you say yes, 45% say no. That's progress though, because if I asked that a couple months back, it would have been less people saying yes, because it sounded like Jon Jones wasn't going to do it, but now it looks like the tide is turning. Hopefully he gets paid a lot and fades off into the sunset with a lot of money. I worry about that guy though, because when he doesn't have the outlet for MMA, I wonder what he's going to do. He's crazy when he has the outlet for MMA. When he doesn't have it, it might be really, really bad, but maybe he can use acting as an outlet. Kyung Ho Kang, aka Mr. Perfect, no longer with the UFC. He's coming off a loss to Muin Gafarov. Kang says, just got word he's no longer with the UFC. Been a long time since I first signed with the UFC in 2012 and ended in 2025. But when I look back, it's gone in a moment. When you sweat every day, train hard, and lose more than 10 kilograms, when you enter the cage, that matches your fear. When you hear the cheers of the audience, your fear turns into excitement. And when you win the match, you feel frustrated when you lose. That heat can't be replaced by anything, but looking back, all these moments were happy. A young man in my mid-20s has become an old man in his late 30s. I did my best, so I have no regrets. Thank you very much to the fans who have laughed and cried with me and cheered me up all night and slept in the morning. I am what I am because of you.